After his 7th win in 8 rounds, Philipp Hammer moved to within championship distance last time out at Nordschleife. Very, very close to his first ever pro title in the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup. He just needs 2 solid rounds in the final couple of tracks of the season in his way tonight. Mugello, one of the newer circuits to the iRacing service, but one of the most picturesque and one of the most enjoyable to drive on the sim. Welcome to the Apex Racing TV esports studio. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick, alongside me is David Sampson. And yeah, David, just a couple more rounds to go. It's been a very long season. There's pretty much 3 months of our lives have been taken up by this championship. And after last time out with a poor round really for Corey Lazarus, poor qualifying, poor race, Hammer, faultless as usual, managed to take the race win. And he just needs a couple of decent results now and the title will be his.
Yeah, I keep ruffling up drama like he's not going to put it all together or a mistake or someone's... I mean, there's been... At every track, someone's almost been his match, but it's that almost. He's always just got that slight edge. This is not a track I'm super familiar with. I have more experience commentating on it than driving it, and that's something I thought I'd never say. It's just one of the newer tracks, and with the iRacing schedule, how busy I've been. It does look fantastic. I've obviously seen the track lots. It is going to be a challenge in Porsche Cup. Getting the curbs right, putting the lap together, and obviously with the heat format, it puts that emphasis on getting that first lap nailed. Exactly.
It will put a lot of pressure on the drivers for tonight's meeting. Let's have a reminder of the car that we have. And as Dave was saying, it is the 992 Cup car. And yeah, will be one of the last attempts that the drivers have to get a good result in this machine before the end of the season. Not necessarily a car track combination that I think comes to mind immediately. I feel like the Porsche Cup is more used to maybe slightly smaller circuits than this, whereas Mugello is pretty much as big as it gets. But yeah, these high-speed, long radius corners as well, sort of going to be quite a challenge. You're going to be overheating those tires a lot in this thing.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the sprint format, we're going to see lots of opportunistic moves. And like you say, keeping those tyres hung out there on those long sweeping corners, it can be tricky. I don't know the temps for this week, but yeah, it's certainly not going to be easy. Nailing that standing start, getting your first lap, and then how long are the races? They're not long, right? There's 13.
18 is the longest.
Yeah, so lots of pressure on that start, on qualifying. But yeah, really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And well, let's have a look as well at our calendar. We are nearly at the conclusion of it. Zandvoort, the final round. That will be not a heat format. That will just be a 1-hour race. The logic for that, so that it becomes easier for us to calculate the scores for the final round. So yeah, it should be easier for us. So this is our last heat format race of the season, which has tended to produce the best meetings that we have seen so far this championship. And let's have a reminder as well of sort of the final lap last time out at Nürburgring. We had a couple of really good battles going on. But of course it was a really close finish in terms of Destraz pushing Hammer all the way to the line, chasing him down the Dottinger. But as you said earlier on, Hammer always just has that little bit extra. It's 7 wins out of 8 for him, which it doesn't feel like it's been that way, because besides maybe 1 round, he has been pushed. But yeah, he's always got that little bit extra.
Yeah, correct. And we've also had a few technical tracks. You don't accidentally win the Nordschleife. You know, that's not was it an hour long? It was an hour-long race at the Nordschleife. That's not... It can never be by an accident. I'm really looking forward to Zandvoort next week. That's one of my... Well... I'm the old Zandvoort, but it's one of my personal favourites for sure. In Porsche Cup, I've had really good experiences there. I'm not sure about the banking. It's just one of those corners that doesn't quite fit in my brain for some reason. I just blue screen every time. I know what to do, but it doesn't feel right for me to do. But fantastic track.
And let's have a quick look at that video of that final lap. This was the Lane versus Forsland incident. Forsland with a fantastic round, his best result of the season. Of course, an amateur driver managed to comfortably win in the amateurs. Also managed to get 4th place overall, and this was him battling alongside Salvatore Lane, who unfortunately made a little bit of contact and ended up in the wall. And of course, that was a Sim Race Sweden versus North Sim Racing battle, which was even more pivotal for the team's championship.
Yeah, this was a really good race. I have been impressed by Hammer though. Putting everything together when it matters. So I was just reading, Glenn unfortunately can't make the race today. Is it evening? I'm not racing tonight.
Yeah, Nick Horn unfortunately the same as well. Even at this point with Distress last time out, I thought, oh, maybe you could get the run. But it was never on.
What a run from Distress though.
Really
He stuck. Well, there was a moment where it looked like Hammer could get. I've just remembered. I was just trying to scan my brain for what happened on that race. It was all about the pit stop, right? The in-lap Distress probably had the gap. He was very close to Hammer. His in-lap was fast. Hammer was running obviously higher fuel after the pit stop. But Distress just over-pushed the car on the in-lap. Lost a little bit of time and come out right on his on Hammer's bumper.
Yes, and that could have been the decisive moment. He came back really well after that, just to get back in the draft, but unfortunately was not enough for him to get ahead in the end. Let's have a look at the championship standings and going into this final couple of rounds. And it is Philip Hammer at the top of the standings. He is around Philip. He was one of the last drivers to sign up, and I think Corey Lazarus has only just signed up as well in the last few minutes. So it was looking like Ilan Distraz might all of a sudden have a ticket to maybe a championship contention. That is not the case. Hammer way ahead of Lazarus. If he doesn't finish, then it could change around. But like in this format,
correct. There's always an opportunity to score some points, even in recovering from the B final.
And so far, he's 8 from 8 when it comes to pole positions. So he never gets himself in trouble. He's always just at the front.
He even does an extra outlap. But what we know is worth it, it's still that, again, just the element of risk, but he nails it.
Yeah.
At the Nordschleifer, he just abandoned one of his laps, did a casual, essentially 8-9 minute outlap. All confidence in the world.
Yeah. Still took pole by nearly a second last time out at the Nords. In the AM category, this gap has been closing. Luke Swan has outscored Ben Pedersen in the last...
I think Luke Swan was my bet at the beginning of the season.
I think you may have... Well, yeah, I think you're right. He has outscored him in the last 3 meetings. But...
Yeah, but...
he needs to have a spectacular round. And it's not just about Pedersen doing badly. Swan needs to be like top 5 overall in these final 2 races.
Well, that's the one thing with AM, right? If you put a gap between your nearest competitor using pro drivers, the pros don't really have that opportunity. I suppose it's for them. It's at the opposite end of the table. You stand to lose even more if you have a bad race because your nearest pro competitor, because of how the points calculated.
And let's have a look at the Teams Championship as well. And this one looks fairly settled now at this point, honestly. Sim Race Sweden ahead of North Sim Racing. And it really would take Sim Race Sweden not to turn up at the last couple of rounds. And I can confirm they have 2 drivers out here tonight. And your best 2 drivers score points. So they are very, very looking good there. And I'm not sure if North Sim Racing have more than 1 driver, actually. So that will be a slight setback for them for this round of the championship. But let's have a quick reminder of this Mugello circuit. When we went here in GT3 Trophy, I think it was genuinely quite a good track, and I think that first sector in particular really good for having a side-by-side battle for multiple corners.
Yeah, if I remember rightly from the GT, as like I said, I haven't really raced here. It chokes up quite quickly, so you do get that door-to-door action. I don't think we had too much carnage last time, but let's see in these GT3s, it just takes one of them to lock up. But I think saying things like that is stupid. The skill level, especially from the front half, has been absolutely stellar. Has been really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely has been. I can confirm actually, Personi is in the session, so North Sim Racing, they are going to be alright for this round of the championship. But there we go, through turn 4 and 5. I did get the track map up. Lots of Italian names. You got San Donato, Lucio, Poggio Secco, Materazzi. That's Materazzi. No, then you got Borgio San Lorenzo. Then you got Casanova. That one's Casanova. Then Savelli, and then of course, can you remember these 2?
No, I can't. It sounds like you're at an Italian pizza restaurant, mate, to me.
Arrabbiata 1 and Arrabbiata 2.
I should have guessed that.
Of course.
Can I get that pepperoni,
up there
please?
with the Degners and the Lesmes as the 1 and 2 corners out there. Then Scarperia, Pelagio. Good corner names. I don't know what any of them mean, but Good corner names.
They sound tasty. We're getting a question from chat. What position is Robert Van Horn in AM?
Oh, in the championship.
Well, we can't give the results for the race until they've happened. It would be awkward to tell them.
Well, that's what we said at the start. That's
Yeah.
what we did at the start of the season, wasn't it? 12th.
He's
in
12th.
AMS
Nice.
for Roberts.
That was from Matty.
So yeah, and then of course turn 15, very sort of
Yeah, I remember
large
this.
banked corner. In motorbikes, it's a really good fun corner because it's such a long run to the final, to the start finish straight that you often have a lot of photo finishes when it comes to like Moto 3 and even what some of the bigger categories. But yeah, that is the Mugello circuit as our host for tonight's round of the championship. We will transfer over to qualifying because the drivers are just about to start doing their hot laps, and we'll be with you trackside in just a moment.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome to Mugello. The drivers are just starting their qualifying session at the moment, as per normal. First 10 minutes are for the AMs, final 12 minutes are for the pros. I say as per normal. It wasn't the case last week. Of course, Northamptonshire, but we did need to use a different format because the circuit is so long, but no such concerns for this Mugello track. And yeah, the 8 or so AMs are now out on track.
Look at that camera angle. I've never thought of iRacing as high quality scenic, but I mean that looks like actually a chopper for once.
That's pretty good, eh?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
whoever set that camera position
Yeah,
knew what they were doing.
yeah, I'll have to make sure I give Lewis credit for that.
Yeah. 18 more minutes of qualifying, and Tom Heritage is out on circuit. They could still overhaul North Sim Racer, potentially could THR Sim Sports. They have been closing it in recent rounds, but I think
They're a driver short today with Glyn not here.
true. Is Nick? Sure if Nick's in either. Nick Horn, that's his.
Nice livery though.
Very nice livery. Become very familiar with it
Yes.
across the season. Seen plenty of these guys.
Oh, that looks... I don't know the circuit, but that looks wide.
That's not the circuit.
No, I do
that's
remember the
grass.
circuit. I have done a few laps here. I have never done a competitive race here. So that I think that makes a huge difference.
This one is quite a tricky one. Can be an overtaking spot as well, to be fair. Into the downhill right-left. And here is Ben Pedersen, who has taken many a pole position in the amateurs so far this season, often by huge margins. But his run of form recently has been slightly weaker, and so he'll be looking to bounce back and end the season on a high. He's in a very strong position. If Paddy Power were covering this, they'd be giving him an 80% chance of winning the AM title. But he does still need to have a couple of decent results. I wonder if he picked up a 1x there. I mean, he was almost clipping the gravel, but well, certainly backed out of it.
I think it might have even been a double outlap because the way he took the hairpin just didn't look optimal. So I think he's just putting some heat through the tyres. And then I think he was just letting whoever that is in front of him.
Well, he's already done 2 laps, though, in this session. This is his second sort of flying lap, albeit... So I guess his first one maybe was a flying lap. Maybe, yeah, maybe he's backing up on this one. Maybe we'll push on the next.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know the strat. Usually I'm all for ideas and stuff, but I don't know. What have we got? Lowish temp? Yeah, very low temps. Yeah, we'll see. He knows what he's doing, does Ben.
Thank you to the eSox71. 71 is my number, actually, so I'm very much supporting that username for subscribing to Apex Racing TV.
71, eh?
71. Do you know any reason why it's 71?
Ballpark guess, IQ? Is that your IQ? Sorry, you walked into that. No, I have no idea. So I assume something to do with racing.
It's not actually, but that's a really good joke, to be fair.
Thank you.
Because that number is just about... I mean, if I said my IQ was 71, I think some people would believe it, honestly. No, it's if you assign each letter of the alphabet a number, so A1, B2, C3,
Yeah.
then if you have Samuel, which is my actual name, then it adds up to 71. 10-year-old me thought that was really interesting, and so that was my number. David's really impressed, by the way.
It's encoded. That's good. I'll give you that.
Yeah. That's the most, pitiful "that's good" I've ever heard, I think.
Okay, 7's my number. Do you know why?
Dates of birth?
A 7? No. Eric Cantona, Man United.
Oh, okay, sure.
Simple. My dad was a Man United fan. I grew up watching Man United, and yeah, the number just stuck. Obviously, I don't condone how he left the sport, but he was a good player up till then.
So Forson's on pole by 0.4 of a second at the moment. He's in the 1-minute 50s. Drivers can complete the lap that they start, of course. We have got two AMs actually, who haven't set lap times. Nick Kirstens, who is out on circuit, I think he's invalidated his first 3 attempts. And Tom Heritage, who is out on circuit, he has invalidated his first 2 attempts. I don't think there's anyone with any qualifying ban squad tonight, apart from Nikolai Pedersen, but I don't think Pedersen's around anyway, so yeah, everyone will be able to take part in qualifying.
You said ESO-X. I'm just going to go out on a whim here and say that's Colin, so thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well.
Oh, I don't think Nick... Well, that's his teammate, though, ahead of him.
Well, not anymore.
Maybe, was he on the push-up? I sort of just looked up.
I'm not sure. Yeah, they could be setting up the draft.
Nick Horn saying 78 because that was the year I was born. You see, when you said 7, I should have said that was the year that you were born.
You should have done the same IQ joke. You missed.
No, because 7's too far.
Oh, okay.
Even for you, David. I think 7 is too harsh. Oh, Ben Pedersen goes to the top, by the way. 0.3 of a second clear. I don't know what this choreography is from the Sim Race Sweden guys, but I hope they're cooking up something, because they are orchestrating quite an outlap there. Adam Bezalek, who has some good results recently, Zolda in particular, managed to win in the amateur category, and he's currently on an outlap. He will be able to complete the lap that he's going to start in about 30 seconds time.
Gabriel Solomon in chat. Hello there. Robert Van Horn in chat. Hello there.
Gabriel, welcome back. Hopefully we'll see you in the next Porsche Cup Championship. We usually run one alongside the PESC qualifiers. That might be the next one that we host. So seeing that Gabriel's going to be in PESC next season, beyond doubt, because he's so good, hopefully he'll be around for that.
Yeah, that's always good. I love that one you do, because the pro cut-off's like at...
About 9K.
It's insane. Yeah, that's insane. On board with Worm here. Well, on board TV cam. Is it a good close of the season? Lots of good results.
Yeah. Bathurst in particular was really good from him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In 9th position at the moment in the championship. He has missed a couple of rounds, but yeah, last time out, Nordschleifer, he was, 2nd place. Bathurst, he got some good points, so yeah. He is returned to the pits, however, on this one. It is a pit entry that a lot of people mess up, at least when we did prototypes here. And I think GT3 Trophy as well. Lots of messing up. Fortunately, they don't have to deal with that for tonight's races, because it is the elimination format, so they are just 4 sprint races. Here comes the last lap then from Forsland. Personal best Sector 1. Nothing spectacular in Sector 2. He's got some work to do in Sector 3.
Yeah, let's see. Forsen definitely strong in qualifying all season long. Fernand looking good, but six tenths off, so that Pedersen lap is looking very strong.
Oh, a little bit shaky for Forsen. Short shifts.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think it was. I think the focus was more on an extra downshift to get the car slowed down without locking. So that's how it looked to me. Swan almost a second off pole. Let's see what he can cook up, but we are running very low on time.
Swan moves up to 6th, ahead of
go.
Veselek. A very close qualifying there in the AMS. Only 1.2 seconds separating all 8 of them. Nick Kirsten's, albeit, didn't set a lap time. He tried 5 laps, and none of them were legit.
Robert Van Horn in chat thought we was talking about him the whole time, and he's just realised we were talking about Salomon. Oh, Robert. Same applies, just different name.
Yeah, sure. Go for pro, but go for it.
I think you need 8.5, 9K. The Pesk, when the Pesk is on, the ARA Porsche Cup gets busy for the aliens.
Yes.
I would be.
You be like.
Excuse me.
Let's not beat around the bush. You'd be
I'm not.
rooted in the AMS.
You try and put an AM sticker on. Can I just be pro and do terrible?
Oh, no, to be fair, that is sort of my mindset, is that if someone's like, oh, actually, I'm a bit better than my iRacing, can I be pro?
Well, I'm not saying I'm better than my iRacing.
I say, yeah, sure, go for pro, and then someone else can have the prize in the lower categories. But yeah, someone can't ask to go in a lower category. That's absolutely not allowed.
Yeah, I'll definitely go for pro. Got to try.
Nick Horn, by the way, just referring back to something he said a while ago, that is the most nerd number choice ever, Sam, which he said earlier on. I agree. I'm actually a bit ashamed of it, but I think 71's a bit of an underrated number. So
it's very high. That's why for a favourite number.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in Formula One, I don't think anyone's taken 71 yet.
No.
So when I get into Formula One, then I can still have that number.
Plus, just think, no one would ever know why, because the reporter would be asking you, you'd be explaining it, and they'd cut the cameras when they realise you're adding all these numbers up from the alphabet.
Yeah.
The reporter just walks away with the microphone.
Yeah, this isn't a news story, is it?
He's having a breakdown, poor man. Evening, Thomas in chat. Joseph Dimbelow. Picking up his performance from the start of the season, absolutely beastly. If he can get things together, like obviously he had the quali ban, he's been involved in some spins and some wrecks, but when he's actually on it and he's flying.
Yeah, was my pick for the Pro Championship this season. Was Dimbelow.
I can't even remember who I picked. Did I pick? I don't remember who I picked.
Ooh. I mean, we will revisit it. I've already put it in the sheet that we will revisit that next
I know
week.
I picked Luke Swan for Am, but I do not. Wait, did I pick Shea?
Yeah.
I think I might pick Shea, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Did you pick North Sim Racing though?
Well, yeah, because
I think I picked Sim Race Sweden, so I think I might get 1 out of 3. So I think I'll win.
How that happened? Wait,
fantastic.
Even you were on round 3. Were like, well, North Sim have won this.
Yeah, no, this is over.
Yeah, 800 points clear. Nothing could ever stop this. Oh wait, all their drivers have left, and Simway Sweden's now 3 times as many drivers. Oh, this will swing it.
Corey Lazarus moves up to 2nd position. He's done better than he did in the previous qualifying, where he failed to put in an eligible lap time, and he's currently on the front row. Philip Hammer does go for the double outlap, so you don't expect this one to be. In fact, actually, that was his first outlap, and I think this one will be slow as well.
Let's see if we can get away from the person in the background of Hammer. I can definitely see someone. Glasses. That's the giveaway. Reflection off the lights.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure her or him's phone isn't watching our stream. They're probably on Instagram or something more exciting.
In fact, actually, that was Hammer's first proper lap time. So, yeah, this is his first push lap. And so far, it's all very neat and tidy.
Yep.
On the man who is yet to be beaten in qualifying.
It looks like Pedersen's going to have a really good opportunity for big points scored here. I think we're going to see quite the gap open up between him and his competitors.
Is Hammer pushing this one? He's in a bit gingerly there.
Yeah, maybe he's just cycling the tiles.
Arabiata 1, Arabiata 2. A purple sector 1, so he is actually pushing. It doesn't necessarily look as quick as it is, but yeah, it was a very good sector 1 for him. So actually, if he can keep it up, let's see what his second sector time is. Very good as well.
Blistering.
He's just very much in control, is Hammer.
Yeah, that's a really fast sector time.
Lane up to P3 at his home circuit could well be an advantage for the Italians. Lazarus moves up to first. Meinborg up to second, so nice time there. So Hammer's got to keep the pace up on this lap. However, at least in the second sector, and you know what? I mean, this is going to be way clear. I mean, this could be.
Yeah, he's got this.
I think it's going to be like a 49.7. Yeah.
I think maybe even a 6. As he crosses the line.
Oh, okay, 49.9. His final sector was good. It was still, I think he set 3 purple sectors, but his first 2 sectors were like way faster, and his third sector was only a little bit faster.
Yeah, his first sector, apart from Ben Pedersen, no one's really got close to him in the first sector. Second sector, Corey Lazarus was within 2/10, but again, a league of his own. And like you say, third sector, while fast, just on the speed. Yep, Phil in chat said, even when he looks slow, Hammer is fast. Yes, that is actually a trait of fast guys though, right? Because the one thing that's hard to spot on camera is apex speeds. So they usually have a lot of car control, their braking's very gradual and smooth. They just carry 12 kph through the corners, but you can't experience that by just watching. So yeah, it's frustrating. My dad said it once, watching, someone beat me in an IMSA race. Why don't I just look at the telemetry of pros and just copy what they do? My instinct was like, Dad, you've watched Tiger Woods, yeah? Just copy his swing, Dad. Just hold the club where he holds it, swing back when he swings, and just smack the ball really hard.
Sure.
Oh, wait, that didn't work? Yeah, they do make it look easy, the faster they go.
Personi and Fidelak, the 2 pro drivers, yet to set a qualifying time in this session. Of course, once they get to the 22 minutes, that will be it. So Dimbolo might have 2 more laps. If he wants them, he can have 2 more laps. Can Dimbolo, currently in P7, would be one of his weaker qualifyings of the second half of the season. So I expect him, I think he's certainly got the pace within himself to get up into that top 3.
Yep, keeping an eye on his sectors, but that first sector was long. So I assume he hung out in the pit road for a bit or something. Yeah, very fast. When he's on it, as I say, he's been right up there as one of the fastest guys on track.
Are you a fan of someone just going for an all-black livery? Saw the Vader look. I think it looks quite cool, right?
Sure. Also looks a little bit like, oh wait, I have to submit a livery and then open up Photoshop.
I don't think he even submits a livery.
Oh.
I think this is just from the iRacing thing.
Not really, no. I haven't had time to work. I always used to, iterate my liveries over the years and always look to improve them. But then I just stopped one day, and then unfortunately, the new cars come out, and now I absolutely wing these new cars. I literally just open up Microsoft Paint and.
An Audi is basically the same as a Mercedes, right? Just
drag it on, yeah.
Move a couple of logos across the doors.
Yeah,
easy.
That's it now.
A really good lap from Personi. That was his first lap time of the session, and he managed to move up into second place. So only a tenth of a second off. He will have 1 more lap time as well if he's got the fuel to take it, as will Personi. And I can confirm he is currently still pushing, so watch out for him. Meinborg, can he get up onto the top 3? He improves, and that could be important when it comes to holding back the drivers behind, but it's not going to put him close to the drivers ahead. Again, he's got 1 more lap to set if he wants it.
So interestingly enough, Personi was 2/10 slower than Hammer in the first sector alone, but he was 2/10 faster than Hammer in the last sector.
It's definitely the last sector that Hammer didn't nail.
Yeah.
Like, compared to everyone else. So yeah, I think he has got a 49.7 in him. As he goes to a 49.8.
An 8.14, yeah, that's very impressive. Almost 2.5 tenths now clear.
That will be his last lap, I think. It was very close because a 1 minute 50 lap, and he did cross the line with about 1 minute 50 to go.
But shout out to Pedersen there. Look, his nearest competitor is all the way down in 9th. Yeah, and he's got the pace to stay with these guys, so it creates a very difficult situation to close points on Ben. So, yeah, very good job.
What's the first sector like for Lazarus? Not entirely sure, but yeah, we will see him put up a lap fairly soon. Here comes Lane. Passoni, his teammate, back to the pits. Not going to be an improvement for Passoni.
Yeah, I'm just looking at who's out there setting lap times.
Lane's had a couple of iffy final laps recently. Road Atlanta, we posted a video on the Apex Racing TV and Apex Racing League and Apex Racing Academy social medias earlier today of him having an absolutely incredible battle at Road Atlanta on the last lap. And he crashed last time out as well on the last lap at Nordschleife. So if you can improve that.
I think I remember the incident.
Yeah, you were laughing, Sturk.
Yeah, I I saw the video, yeah.
Here comes Lane then. Keeping a wheel on that red and white curb. That's what all you need to do on that final corner. And also Dimbolo as well, trying to improve. But let's see what these guys do. Lane doesn't improve. Dimbolo
No, nothing.
doesn't improve either.
Draz
Distraz.
is going to run out of time. Is he actually going to get there? 3, 2,
No, he won't
1.
make it. It was a personal best second sector. No, I think that was an outlap. His first sector was like a 2-minute 30.
Okay, you think he was
I
just
don't think
practicing.
it was going to count. Well, there is the grid. It's going to be a smaller grid today. People,
Familiar front row.
unfortunately. But yeah, it's Hammer versus Lazarus. Well, this is what we want.
Yes.
Because I feel like we haven't seen these guys go head-to-head in a heat much this season. But we are going to see it today. Hammer versus Lazarus. Ben Pedersen up there. Then it's Lane Forsland. So Pedersen and Forsland, the two of the top 3 in the AMP Championship near each other. Swan. So actually we've got the 1, 2, 3 in the Amateur Championship. Heritage and Fiedelac with some work to do. Did not set a qualifying lap time. Was the only apologies, the only pro who didn't set a qualifying lap.
So for anyone watching, obviously Lazarus won't be in this race, right? He'll be in the second heat.
Lazarus is in this one.
Oh. Okay, that was the qualifying results for the... Okay, I'm going to be quiet and let you do your job.
Sure.
Who got P2, sorry, overall? I'm confused. I thought...
Stromeri. No, not Stromeri. The other one, Passoni. Passoni got P2.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so, all right. Yep.
So yeah, he'll be on pole for...
So an
SD.
exciting heat 1 then.
What I would say is that Hammer hasn't lost a heat so far this season. Let's see if we can keep that 100% record up as the lights come on here at Mugello for race 1 of the evening. And away we launch. There's a little bit of a hesitation from Pedersen, but it seemed like he got a decent launch still.
Lazarus is way strong here.
And Lazarus is going to be challenging Hammer down into turn 1. The inside line should be very advantageous, but he's almost getting his nose ahead. Going into the first corner is the Kiwi. Forsland looking aggressive in the middle of the circuit. It's Pedersen on the inside. Hammer will hold on to the race lead and makes a little bit of a break for it as well, as Forsland still tries to pull off that move, and I think he is. Great start for Edwin Forsland. He's up into 3rd from 5th on the grid.
Yeah, we don't see any major loss of position. Worm down 2, but everyone holding on very strong. Great start, well controlled from Hammer. I forgot how much of a sweeping corner that was. It was always going to be Hammers all day as long as he maintained traction. Single file. Not seeing it like we saw the GT3s. I don't think too many people are out of position. Looks like everyone got their Q lap pretty nailed.
Yeah, it's just Fiedelac who maybe is a little bit out of position, but he's already made up 2 of those places. And to be fair, he's got some very competitive arms in front of him, the former Forsland, Pedersen and Swan, so they won't be easy to overtake either.
Yeah, very impressive from Forsland.
Fiedlac's up another one.
Yeah, he just got Swan. Nice livery, and we learned a bit about that last week, right? The team.
Yeah, he works at the Nordschleife. Does Sebastian?
It's not a bad life.
No. Yeah, occasionally he has his mates driving around the Nords. Never driven it himself though. He's just done a few laps around it as a passenger.
So I thought Ben Pedersen was away, like everything was going to be cozy, and he's already behind an AM. But we're talking about 4th and 5th out there. Like it's impressive stuff from Forsland. still to play for an AM, really. Because if something happens to Ben in the race and, you know, a little bit of bad luck, it's going to bring the points within grasping distance for the hour-long race at Zandvoort.
Nick Horn in chat saying, let's go, Tom. Supporting Mr. Heritage, of course, who is in P9. Lane looking to the inside, but not a chance there. That corner, when you get it just right, the inside of that corner, it's a little bit like turn 2 at Bathurst, where it seems to just hook you round.
Gotcha.
If you can get a wheel onto the curb, it really does just grip the car around. I've done a fair few laps. This is probably one of the very few circuits I've actually done more laps than you round, I think.
100%.
So yes, nice change rather than me, having no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just have no idea what I'm talking about now. It feels strange. I know a lot about Zandvoort. It's a track I know very well. Not so much the newer one. I have raced the newer one, but there's a couple of tracks on the entire schedule that are U tracks. Like they just
stuff happening.
Oh,
Someone's gone off in the background. It's feed lag. I think he lost it by himself.
Oh.
And it also looked like Lane might be apologies. Lane might get past Pedersen. That did not happen. But feed lag with some work to do. Top 6, of course, get through from each heat.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough now.
What I would say is that it is going to be a very small B final. Like 5 cars, and I think top 3 get through. So it is going to be not the most exciting race. So even if you don't get through your heats, good chance you'll get in through by the B final at least. Anyone who doesn't get through to the B, it's a massive shame that Nick Horn isn't doing this, because Nick, I think you would genuinely be getting to the A final today, which hasn't happened in 2 seasons. So it's a shame that you're not out there tonight.
It is a shame. They're missing a few drivers, right? No, it's just the 2, Glenn and Nick.
Yeah, Glenn, Nick.
Oh, Lane having a good look. As long as you can get it slowed down without locking.
Yeah, nicely done. So he's up to P4. Pedersen falling back a bit. He's down 2 places now from most race start, and he was struggling to keep tabs with Forsland. Lane, who's usually a bit of an underwhelming qualifier, but does come back in the races very well. And I think he could still definitely get a podium. He's got 6 minutes to overtake the Sim Race Sweden car ahead.
Yeah, shame for Fiedler, because Fiedler was the one that didn't get the qualifying together, right? So he's undone all that work where he was looking for a sure for the A final, but I'm not sure with the amount of time left. Can he make this work? I mean, catching's one thing, but passing, I don't think so. Plus, it's Luke Swan. Is it top 6, right?
Top 6, yep.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Swan's not so easy to get past. All right, some replays. We've got the race start. Yeah, I think Lazarus had a good start here, but it is an outside corner. I think he did well enough.
I think one of the highest quality starts, just that everyone seemed to do well off the line, and then it was just a case of who could get the draft down into T1.
Correct.
And Forsland did a fantastic job. Lane was smart to back out a bit. He was on the outside 3 wide. Forsland was in the middle, and that turned out to be the perfect place to be.
It says what happened to Fiedler.
Oh, he got on the gravel already.
Well,
and then he sort of loses actually later in the corner, doesn't he?
I think he overreacted to the gravel. I mean, gravel has tons of grip nowadays in iRacing. I think he just, touched it and jerked the wheel right. He's just off camber. And this is what we just saw, the Lane Pedersen. This was a nice move. I think all he had to do was really not lock up. But as I said earlier, I alluded to that we don't even need to say that. The pedigree in this series now has been really strong.
Pedersen's just gone wide by himself. I think he did lock up at turn 1.
Okay, so I retract my statement.
Never happens.
Yeah, it does happen. Perhaps they are starting to put some heat through those tyres now. Like you say, these corners are very long.
As Forsland has made a mistake.
Or a slowdown.
Or it looks like a slowdown, doesn't it? Or maybe he's like cut the chicane or something, because he certainly was having to get back on the brakes, even on the straight. It is very easy to pick up a slowdown at that chicane. The curbs aren't very intimidating in these Porsche Cup cars, and so you are having to judge it really yourself rather than having a proper physical deterrent. And so Lane now up to P3. from 4th on the grid. Forsland still up 1 place from where he started.
Yeah, it's a shame to see Forsland and Pedersen dropping so much, but I mean, they are AMs amongst the pros, so. But I mean, Hammer's making those gaps look like it's a complete domination, but I mean, he's 1.2 seconds ahead of P2. Very impressive drive. Fiedlak is not making top 6.
No. He'll get Heritage.
And he'll probably get to the back of one, but then, yeah. That'll be all she wrote.
There he is, Sebastian Fiedlak.
Yeah, he'll be ruining that mistake. I mean, maybe he didn't overreact. Maybe it was time to turn in. It was hard from the camera angle to judge. But it just looked like he turned in very aggressively, considering the material he was on.
Is a very tricky corner, that, to pick your turning point, and the acceleration point as well, because it is very blind. And the exit sort of is a bit tighter than what you anticipate. But the curb does lend itself to being used. Like, you can go all the way to the gravel there. But yeah, certainly one of the most tricky corners just because of the visual aspect of it.
Luke Swan here being hunted by Thomas Ryan. It is Thomas, right?
Yes.
Thomas Ryan. Let's see, it doesn't look like the easiest track to overtake. It looks like you've really got to pick your moment, get them offline, and then looks like there's, what, 2 opportunities at this track? One of them a bit more traditional. Yeah, it looks like it's hard because once your tyres are getting hot, this is a lot of just a dirty air generator, this track. The long sweeping corners, you're just putting a lot of heat through your tyres following this closely. I think Thomas can get this done. Got a minute 15 to go.
Yeah, 1 more lap for these drivers to complete after this one. I should have given them a shout out earlier on, but I will give them a shout out right now. Racing Unleashed. We recently announced the 4th challenge of the year for Racing Unleashed, which was basically what David predicted it would be by my clues last week. It is GR86s at Spa in the wet.
Honestly, I was winging it.
Yeah,
I was just.
Yeah, I didn't tell you.
No.
Oh, it was.
I saw your face and I was like, I'm really sorry for ruining the surprise.
Yeah. Oh, this is getting close. So
that sounds great, boy. It sounds like a long lap in the wet.
Oh yeah, 3 minutes 20.
3 minutes 20.
For a fast driver. Fiedlak is moving past Heritage. He'll be up into P8. I don't think Heritage will fight this one too much. But yeah, if you want to sign up to that, go to apexracingleague.com. It is a free entry, and you could win up to €175 for taking part. That is cash. That's not like part of a, not €175 worth or something. That is just €175. And even if you finish 5th, you still get points, or you still get money as well. It's on Sunday evenings. 2nd of June and 16th of June, I believe. So yeah, do check out apexracingleague.com in order to get yourself signed up. It should be a really fun event.
Yeah, I've got lots of questions about it. People asking me about it. I didn't know what they were talking about first, but it's obviously after the track. They were asking about the Apex GR86 wet event. I'm like, speak to Sam. I'm not sure what that is.
Well, final few corners now for our race leader. This is Corin Shao. And then we got Biondetti. And Biondetti 2 is this little chicane. Pointless chicane, really. It's not a very good corner at all. That's ruined the racing slightly. And then, of course, Buccini. The final corner. And that is all that's standing in his way. And Philip Hammer on course for, I believe, would be his 6th heat victory out of 6 for this season. He holds off his main championship rival, Corey Lazarus. And Philip Hammer takes the first heat of the evening and pole position as well for the A final here at Mugello.
Yeah, Lazarus was able to keep up, but I mean, Philip Hammer probably didn't need to do any extra. Had he needed to, probably had a bit spare. But yeah, great finish.
Swan holds on to the top 6, gets into the A final. Again, Verm will be on pole position for the B final, which will have few drivers, but with the likes of Fiedlak in there, could be quite competitive. Here is the grid then for Heat 2. Personi on pole. Then it's Meinborg, Distraz, Dimbolo. Really, any of those top 4 will be thinking they've got a shot at the race win in this one. Then it's Bernand, Luritzen, Bezalek, Nick Kirstens, who didn't set a qualifying lap, and your friend and mine, Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not good at memory games, and I find you know, I'm good at pattern recognition. That side of it,
Sure.
but yeah, memory games. I can't even remember what the IQ was. Right, lights are about to go green.
Here we go then. Very good start from everyone in Heat 1. Was it like in Heat 2? Again, seems pretty even. Good start from the P3 man, though. That might be an opportunity for the likes of Destraz to make an attack into turn 1, but they seem all fairly even. The top 4 very close to one another. Meinborg hanging on. He's on the outside of the circuit. It will definitely be Personi leading them into turn 1. Dimbolo trying to make an advantage there. He's making it 3 wide. Dimbolo through the middle. He's got 1. Could he get 2 as well from 4th on the grid? And he is up into the top 2. What's a start from the Brit?
Yeah, he's a weapon. That was well timed as well. Where he picked up that 3 wide was very impressive because he had the exit speed. And then he was just late on the brakes as well. Personi with a nice start though, nice control. This should help him build that little bit of a gap to keep him safe just for a lap to get some heat in the tyres. So that puts Dimbolo up 2 and Meinberg down 2, with the other beneficiary being, well, Destraz held his position. Just had a Destraz and Meinberg swapping around him. Where's that little disconnected? But is he the pink car? Who's the pink car? I think there was one bad standing start out there, and that was whoever the pink car is.
Did he slow down?
Oh, so it must have been
actually Luritzen, who had a good qualifying actually, did Luritzen, qualified up in P6. Yeah, like you said, did not have a good start, but Vezek did just make a mistake, so that's why he is quite so far back in P8. Kirstens with a strong start. He's up 3 places, is Nick Kirstens. He's actually not far off Meinborg. Meinborg not with a good start. Started P2. He might be down to P5 if he's not careful, because the Simrace Sweden driver is right on his tail.
Yes, indeed. Good gap from Personi, though, but we've seen Dimbolo. He definitely wants that win. Just didn't obviously get it together in qualifying. Really looking forward to the A final if we've got the likes of, like we see every week, Hammer, Dimbolo, Lazarus, Destraz. Let's see, Personi's looking very fast at this track.
Destraz could go for the dive.
Yeah. He just seemed to be following very closely.
Oh, that's deep. Or Meinborg, and he's going to give up the place, but he will get on the power early. He might be able to come back.
That's what I was just thinking.
And he just about recovers that. He coped with that well.
Yeah, it just gives you that exit speed, right? Even though you've gone deep and you've blown everything, you'll have a very high top speed coming to the next corner. This championship's gone fast. If only one more round is left.
Yeah, only one more round. And of course, the championship following this, which will be starting in 3 weeks' time, will be the Apex Racing League GT3 Trophy. Now, there are 60 slots available. 57 of them have been filled. 3 of them remain.
And remember, you can sign up in the Mustang and Vet.
And the Mustang and the Vet, yeah. I'm also away this weekend, so if people could fill up those 3 spots this evening, that'd be quite helpful, and then I could get all the admin done.
Oh, I'll ask you on the air, because I got asked this question. If they signed up in a car, can they change their car for free before the start, before the first race?
Yeah, we added that officially to the rules. It's always been a rule, but yeah, that is in the rule document that you can do that.
I said I'd ask you, and now I asked you on air, so I have proof, because I'll clip this.
This is also very uninteresting, but I was doing the iRatings earlier on, and I decided to take into consideration the driver's best road iRating rather than their GT, rather than their GT,
sports car.
So whatever your best iRating is out of single seats and sports cars, that's the iRating you're going to have assigned.
Clever.
Which is a bit of a precedent, but I think it's a necessary one, unfortunately. Dimbolo very well, pretty much exactly the same position as they were on the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, Dimbolo
really
doesn't have any draft. Yeah, Destraz is looking fast.
And of course, this is when you're hoping that you put a little bit less wing on the car, make it a bit more overtakeable.
Yeah, let's see. Obviously, Dimbolo got those positions through racecraft, not pace, so he may not this may not be a track of his So he might just be struggling a little bit in the arms of Distress right now.
Nick Horn asking, next P Cup ARL will have rain. Thoughts? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yes, but it might coincide with the PES qualifiers the next season. So if the PES qualifiers don't have rain, and generally the PES qualifiers are very dull because they pick like Red Bull Ring Short and a bunch of other NAF circuits. If they do that, then I feel like iRacing might not even have rain in the qualifiers. You'd hope.
They've got to, yeah.
But I
They've
don't
got
know.
to.
I wouldn't be surprised they didn't have it for PESC,
They've got to, yeah. They really have.
but you'd hope so. Hopefully iRacing will insist on it, even if Porsche aren't green.
So when you say qualifiers, isn't the qualifiers just a certain time of officials?
Yes.
So
or not. So I think the qualifiers is like basically the official series.
Yeah, just...
But it's whoever gets the most points.
So it will have rain, because next season is definitely rain for Porsche Cup. So
Oh, hang on, is it different? Or
no, I thought the qualifiers were just a certain...
yeah, maybe you're right.
I think
there.
it's 2 time slots.
No,
or-
it is,
no,
it-
it's
no,
just
it is
any
separate.
day.
It is separate to the officials.
Oh.
It is separate because sometimes the officials and the qualifiers don't match up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. So probably, Nick. That's all I can say. Probably.
I'm excited for GT4 rain. I think that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah. But then you can't use it with well, you can use it in the GT4 only series, but you can't use it in the Michelin Pilot thing.
LMP3's getting rain.
Oh, of course, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
We're cooking, mate. Just TCRs and the Nordschleife can have rain. NEC. A rain in NEC once TCRs get rain.
Will you be doing it solo?
Yes, sir.
How did Nürburgring 24 go for you?
Good. We were in the same split.
We were.
Yeah. It was long. A very, very long day. Oh, I'm getting looks from Lewis. I didn't say anything. It was a good race. I think you guys lapped us.
Yeah, I was driving really well.
Yeah, you were. You did. You lapped us.
And Lewis was driving very well until he didn't.
I unlapped us.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was a good race. You have to watch it. Watch the VOD. It's only 20.
What was your fastest lap?
Really slow. In my defence, though.
You did have a damaged car.
Yeah, in every stint I was
5
running.
minutes in.
Every stint I was running, it was damaged, and we were triple stinting the tyres to maximise optionals. But no, I wasn't super pleased with my pace, but I was trying to ignore it because of the damage.
Got some replays. Do keep an eye, by the way, on the bottom.
See, look, Mads Eriksson there in the pink car, definitely just completely out of sync. Andy's on the outside, which means, well, yeah, he's just getting swallowed up out there.
I don't know how. I mean, Dimbolo is P4 coming out of turn 1 and P2 going into turn 2.
Yeah, really good. Like he said, he got on the throttle earliest and he broke the latest, and where he did it was perfect.
A little bit of gravel dipping as well from a couple of the drivers. I think that was Meyerborg who got a bit held up. By the way, Distress very nearly got past Dimbolo into turn 1. Had to go on the defence. Did the British driver.
Yeah, I mean, Distress has definitely got the pace to, could have maybe even hunted Pisoni, but Dimbolo known for his racecraft, so not the easiest man to pass.
And of course, this is the difference between 4th and 6th on the grid for the A final. And it does feel like this season, like Distress is always sort of in that 4th to 6th range. I think maybe just because of his qualifying. I think in reality, he's got the pace to be on the podium, but yeah, more often than not, finds himself on the 3rd row of the grid in the A final. And when you've got quality guys like Pisoni and Hammer and Lazarus at the front, then they can be very tricky to chase down from that far back.
Yeah, no Shayer today, which is a shame. I haven't seen the name. I think Distress can make some time. I mean, what's the I mean, there are points on the A final, so like you said, it does promote you with that extra 2 positions, not just the 1.
I think we established last week that Distress is a nice person. Him and La Hammer got on very well in their battle. Absolutely no over-aggressive moves whatsoever. They were sort of both applauding each other come the end of the race, a bit of a formation finish. So,
Joe, watching the onboard now into the last corner, I think I have raced this track. Is it in ACC?
yeah,
Yeah, I think I've done a ACC event a long time ago. I don't know what, just something about that last corner being in this cockpit position just jogged my memory.
You know what, actually, is it ACC? I haven't driven it on ACC, but I feel like it probably is on ACC. I know Misano, Monza. I'm not sure if there's a third circuit on ACC from Italy.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I mean, I've done laps in iRacing, so maybe it's just from that. And not having his strongest race, 8.7 seconds off. But then again, it's a tight-knit pit pack. It's not easy to pass here, as we're seeing in the Porsche Cup. Well, it's just too easy to defend here with the long sweeping corners. Dirty air and not really enough draft in any one corner to make something convincing done. Meinborg hasn't made more ground. His pace was sublime. Obviously qualified P2.
Yeah, I mean, he's caught back up to these guys, hasn't he, after he went wide at turn 1 earlier on, but yeah, hasn't made any impression. I think, honestly, you know, Dimbolo, Disjazz, Meinborg, that's a very competitive 2, 3, 4. It's difficult to take time out of these drivers ahead, but Personi to be 3 seconds ahead, very impressive. And Personi generally is faster in the races than in qualifying. We haven't seen this man around in too many meetings. He only joined for the Sebring round a few weeks ago. But since then, he has been one of the most competitive drivers in the series. And after nearly taking pole position, he will be starting in P2 for the A final, looking for his first ever A final victory. But this, at least, will be a heat racing victory for himself at his home circuit. Andrea Personi, Heat 2 winner at Mugello. Dimbolo holds on for P2. Disjazz, Meinborg, Kirstens and Bernan joining them in the A final.
Yeah, impressive result. I'm looking forward to the... So we'll go straight to the B final now, correct? Going to be an exciting race. I'm trying to do the math on how many cars there will be. But yeah, very exciting.
5, unless you include me.
We're not including
Shall I
you.
jump into a rig?
Run.
Because I think... I mean, let's face this, it's not going to be a very fun race. So if I'm causing a bit of mayhem out there...
Yeah. Do it in reverse.
I don't think iRacing will let me do that for very long.
No, you can reverse forwards. You can, yeah. You just can't reverse. You just can't go backwards on the track. I've done a lap of the Nordschleife in reverse. Seriously, it was a long
What, in
lap.
reverse gear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, don't please on this race. Don't drive
okay, sure.
Don't drive backwards on the
I
track.
thought that's what you meant. Yeah.
No, please don't.
So there they are, 5 cars, top 3, get 3. Maybe this will turn out to be the greatest race of all time, but I am skeptical. It is Verm on the pole position, Luritzen, Biedlak, Bezolek and Heritage. The drivers there would be, I think, the first race victory for any of these guys. Should they be able to take this? Here we go then.
So top 3 advance.
5 lights on. They were held for a while, but now we launch away. It's a good start from the guys on the second row of the grid. It's going to be a fantastic start for the red car, who are storming their way through. Sebastian Fiedlak is that red car. He's looking good at the moment. Heading into turn 1, they're all a bit crowded on the inside. Might open up potentially for Veselek on the outside as they all just get their way through this first corner.
I think he's got it.
Still Verm
going to be ahead.
the way, but what a start for Fiedlak. He's already up 2. This would be 3 positions. He's still having to go the long way round. Tries not to touch the gravel on the exit, and he is passed. Great work from Fiedlak. From 3rd to 1st.
Yeah, that was brave from choosing the outside, but he was late. Well, I was about to say he's latest on the brakes, so I actually think Mads was even later, but yeah, Worm a little early on the brakes then. It really cost him into 1 because he could have opened up the wheel and used a bit more track, but safe Fiedlak shut the door off. Really nicely done, very well controlled on cold tyres, let's not forget. And that's really caught out. Let's see what Luritzen, so what position did Luritzen start? Should I play catch up now?
So in 2nd place.
Yeah, so he's down 1.
I think Fiedlak was likely to pass them anyway, being the pro driver. Wide for Veselek. He is struggling tonight, honestly, as the pole. Really struggling.
Yeah, he couldn't even get back to the track there. I didn't see what happened, but yeah, went in deep for sure. That promotes Tom Heritage.
Yeah, and Veselek made a mistake on the first lap of Heat 1 as well. Clearly new to this circuit, as many drivers are, and it is a one that takes a while to get used to. A lot of corners to learn. It's not necessarily one as well that we have a whole lot of real life experience on, unless you are a sports cars fan or a European sports cars fan or a motorbike fan. Lewitson under huge pressure. This is for the final advancing spot. Tom Heritage, who got through to the final back at Spa, he's trying to do the same here at Mugello.
Yep, this is going to be a good battle. Let's see. Worm was rather early on the brakes here last lap, so let's see how this plays out. Maybe he was just nervous about the cold tyres. Yeah, no, he's too early on the brakes. Lewitson's going to get that nice and easily. Mads is looking a lot sharper this race than he did last race. Let's see if he can put some pressure on Worm. But that gap now already, what is that, 1.4 seconds? Yeah, Fiedler stretching his legs right now. So top 3 advance. Heritage is going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to get anything from this. Because they're out, right? Yeah, there is no, yeah, this is it. This is the last chance to get through to the A final.
Last chance, yeah. Yeah, it would be a big call for us to have another B final where the two who don't get through from this one. And it's like, guys, come on.
And Sam.
This is truly the last chance. One of you gets through. And then we just call it a day. We don't even do the A final. We're just
Correct.
like, no, we've established who's last, and that's what we came here to do.
Okay, some replays coming in. Let's see, this is the start. So I think, yeah, if we watch...
Bezalek got a really good start there. He was the red car.
But watch, Thomas Worm just brakes super early. If we look at Mads and Fiedler's reference,
Yeah.
and it really puts him in a compromising position because he's being pushed close to the apex rather than him opening up and forcing everyone else to have a worse line. But yeah, and then here he's, yeah, again, same situation. But obviously well handled from Worm, you know. Just missed out in T1 there. But then again, I'm sure he's had plenty of practice laps where he locked up at the start.
Sure.
Oh, this was the mistake.
Yeah, it was a bit later on in that lap, actually, that. So
Oh, okay.
Bezalek made the mistake into, I think it was the Arabiata 2. He made the error.
That does sound like an oil you'd put on your pizza.
Arabiata. What is the pizza? Anyone in chat, let us know. There's a pizza, ciabatta, which is like a type of bread.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's what we're thinking of.
No, I think Arabiata sounds
Oh
like
no,
a sauce.
no, it is a
Sounds like
sauce.
Oh, wait.
Arabiata sauce.
Wait, it's not. Oh, it sounds delicious.
Arabiata sauce, known in Italian as suga al arabiata, is a spicy sauce for pasta made from garlic, tomatoes, and dried red chili peppers cooked in olive oil. I'm sure
I've definitely had that. Then,
I probably had that at Pizza, at Pizza Express or something.
There you go. So you didn't know that about me. I've been to Venice, but I don't remember things, so it's surprising.
What did you eat in Venice? What's Venice? Because different parts of it, so you have different like
Venetian.
cuisines.
Everything's really expensive, and obviously I'm picturing Italian food. It's very fish.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All your pizza, like if you want a pizza, it's which fish? How many fish?
It's a dumb question. You said Venice, right?
Yes.
Do they have fish in the canals?
I hope not. I wouldn't eat fish from the canal.
I don't know how they work. I don't feel like they do, but like, yeah.
You know those romantic videos? That ain't it. It's just flooded. Like everything's flooded. No. Yeah, I'm glad I got to go.
Yeah, Penne Arabiata, yeah. Nick Horn, a big fan. Clearly been to Ask Italia as well.
Ask Italia. Nice. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Been in America for 11 years, you forget restaurant names.
Sure. Do they have Pizza Express in America?
Pizza. I don't think so.
I don't think they do. I
No.
think it's a British thing.
Domino's. Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's dying though. It's going the way of Blockbusters out there. I assume it's the same
Oh,
here.
really? Well, I know Pizza Express is on the brink of going under. I'm not
Oh.
sure about Pizza Hut. I thought Pizza Hut were doing all right.
No.
Because they're basically the same as Dom. Well,
No, they're not, because they're functioned for restaurants, not for... They do ordering, but
yeah.
they're paying for a restaurant
I
and all the
guess
staff to be there.
I guess they're halfway between Pizza Express and Domino's, aren't they?
We should do a food podcast.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Okay, cool. Call it the late food apex. It's just me and you at 1:30 in the morning rambling on a Friday night.
Thanks to Miko for subscribing to the channel.
And Thomas holding on nicely.
Yeah, I mean, he's come very close to passing Mads. It's definitely got the potential. Even Verm's not exactly sprinting away, and neither is Feedlag either, but I think Feedlag and Verm look fairly safe. They're fairly solid drivers anyway. I think it will come down to these two. Veselec, unfortunately, just not with the pace now. I think any other track, Veselec would be, frankly, beating Mads and Tom. I mean, that has been the story of this season, but tonight, the pole is not on his A-game.
Yep. Tom's still got time, but, I mean, where's the opportunity? He needs a mistake from Mads. This is not going to be easy at all. It looks like this very difficult to pass here at this track in this car. Like, unless there's a skill gap where you're substantially faster, but even being a little bit faster doesn't seem to be enough.
I think, in my opinion, this circuit is at its best in single-seaters, particularly low-powered single-seaters. I have a real desire to drive an F4 car around this place. I think
Nice,
an F4 car would be absolutely superb. We did actually host a round in the Apex Racing Academy Formula 4 Championship a few months ago around this circuit. And yeah, I imagine the drivers had a lot of fun on that.
Yeah, I like the F4 car. I've been driving it at Brands Hatch this last week or so, and yeah, it's fun.
So you're ditching the Super Formula Light? F4
No.
is your super or single seater of choice?
It was at Cota, and apart from Lewis, I mean, who
Oh,
drives that track?
Exactly, yeah.
No, I just didn't have time. I didn't have time for either of them, but I saw it was Brands Hatch, and I made time.
Yeah.
That was it. That's the whole summary of it. But no, I like the SFL a lot. Both those cars are brilliant.
And of course, a new Formula 4 Championship was announced.
FIA backed, right?
Exactly. We'll be discussing that in depth in the late Apex in about an hour's time. Do tune in on the channel for that. Also, a new IndyCar series, proper pro IndyCar. First open wheel World Championship series hosted by iRacing since the IRO1 Championship last year. But really, it's going to be the best one since the old Grand Prix World Championship.
What are we talking,
series,
road
awesome.
or both? Is it a mix of road and oval?
Well, they
Porsche.
haven't announced the tracks, but I think it is going to be a mixture, yeah.
Wow. Imagine Pete's excited.
Yeah. He's going to be
Chomping.
on that. Although it's annoying because the F4 and the IndyCar one are on at the same time.
Oh,
It's like September to November, both of them. So, although the F4 one's only four rounds, so might be able to. Well, yeah, I think I'll be able to do both simultaneously. Nick Kirsten saying, who of course has already got through to the A final, hence why he can text at this moment. These cars understeer like crazy. And so I don't think he's appreciating the long radius corners that one has to deal with.
trail braking for 90% of the time. Their lap here, I imagine. Yeah, I mean, the Porsche Cups are going that way. Have been ever since the demise of the previous Porsche Cup, where it just seems to be that they're easier on brakes and on traction than they've ever been. Every time they update them, they're easier and easier, but they're just more and more understeery. To the point where you're tempted to just alter the steering rack to at least throw you a bone and help compensate some of it. Like, yeah, I'm not understeer, but literal under rotation. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be Heritage's day. Mads is looking much stronger in this second race than they did in the first. Just a few mistakes in the first, a poor start.
I mean, credit to everyone in this race. They are really keeping it very consistent at the moment. Like, so often we see in the B finals, not necessarily this season so much, the B finals generally this season being high quality, but we've had it in previous seasons. I remember particularly F3 a couple of years ago. And if you're basically in the advancing spots, most of the time people binned it into the wall. And yet, these drivers are above that level, and they are keeping it very clean. And, well, I'd feel bad for Heritage, honestly, if he doesn't make it through, because he hasn't really done anything wrong.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Worm's closing up a little bit. But would he want to go anything? I don't think he would. I think, really, his priority is he just doesn't want to battle with Mads, because then that could put Tom on the radar to cause some problems. But yeah, he's definitely closed up. I mean, it's closed up quite a lot, actually. Half a second in the last 2 laps. Yeah, even I miss the old Porsche Cup nowadays with this much understeer. And yeah, do you know what I mean by that? Just a lot easier on the brakes and traction than they have been before. It just feels like they're not quite GT3 braking, but it's closer. I'd say it's closer to GT3 braking than it is how the old Porsche Cup used to be.
Absolutely, absolutely, I fully agree.
And I think traction's stupidly easy in this car. I know you don't have traction control, but you don't even feel like saying that because it does feel like you do.
Sure. No, yeah, I do like the old Porsche Cup a lot. Oh, bit of a slide there for Fiedler. He's not backing off, is the German.
No, never left.
So we've got one more lap to go after this one. These two continue to extend their gap. Heritage actually falling into the clutches of Veselek slightly. Veselek didn't make that mistake on lap 1 where he cut the circuit. He lost like 3 seconds or so. He would be, I mean, it's a big if, but he would be there with Luritzen. He had the pace to Veselek, but once again made a mistake. So with once, oh no!
What?
Sebastian Fiedler. Unless it could be the instant limit. 17 instants they're limited to.
No, it's fuel. It's got.
Well, let's see if he drives.
It would explain why he's losing a second.
Oh man, Sebastian.
Yeah.
I was picking him up about how.
I don't understand though. He must have not checked because how many litres would it be? 10 versus 14. If he'd have done it from lap 1, he'd have definitely picked up a P3.
Could we stay on Sebastian's webcam, please? Because animated would be an understatement.
You got a feel for him. I want to know, hopefully we get to speak to him, but if he knew, say, with 2 laps to go, that because I said he's lost half a second in 2 laps. Like, I think he was maybe fuel saving, but he could have definitely saved that if he'd fuel saved from the beginning, so...
But why is he stationary for so long now?
I mean, what's the point in heading out? Final lap. Oh, you got a feel for the guy.
44 seconds. Maybe he didn't serve a slowdown. Could that be a thing?
Yeah, but how would that blindside him? Like he had the win. Like end of the day, even a win he doesn't need. He just needs to top 3. But Tom Heritage stuck with it, and he's going to bag this.
He is.
Please don't commentate curse spin. Thank you. Yeah, we're worth.
So we will be missing a pro then from the final. We'll be missing 1 pro and 1 am. But Thomas Verm or WNS Esport, nearly there.
So that's the difference between a pro and an am, right? A pro created a dock for both races. He called it one, like, race 1 heat, a heat final stock. The ams are like, okay, I'll just create fuel for the longer race and run it.
Sure.
And the am strat pays off.
It does. It's a 1, 2, 3 for the AMs. Verm beats Luritzen, beats Heritage.
Heritage is wiggling like a win. Because he spent all race thinking, so close.
What? I'm up to P3. What happens? Didn't overtake anyone. So great work there from Tom. That is his second A final of the season. He also got to the A final back at Spa with a very good job as well. So good to see some THR SimSport representation in the final race of the evening. We will have that very soon, but we have currently got a 3-minute break before we do that 18 minutes A final where the top 15 drivers will be eligible to race. But yeah, how do you fancy Philip Hammer's chances of this one? Because honestly, it looked very good in race 2 for our race winner, Pisoni. So maybe he could be under more pressure than normal, or is that hopeful thinking?
Let's see. Nick cannot get caught out in T1, T2, T3. That's set up. We know he's a calm driver at the beginning, but if he does lose that position,
True.
I think at the top end of this field, no one's getting a move done unless a mistake's being made. So, I mean, and where's Dimbolo? Have we seen the starting grid for the final? Because I think even people like Dimbolo, you saw 4th to 2nd. Like, he's a very aggressive driver at the start. He is going to go for moves.
Starting 4th this one.
Well, then he knows what to do.
Yeah.
He's already done it once. Let's see, a strong top 5. Obviously, Corey Lazarus as well. Even Mayenborg's through, right? And he had a bit of a poor heat, but you know he's got the speed. You know he's got more than enough speed. We'll see. It's going to be tough. Hammer can, of course, do it. I think if he gets out of T3 a lead, then it's his. But let's see. Let's see.
I will give a quick shout out, by the way, to the title sponsor, of course, as well for this series, Apex Racing Academy. Thank you to them for sponsoring this series throughout. All the drivers who sign up to this series actually get a 1-month Apex Racing Academy subscription for free, just for registering for the series. And a lot of them, particularly in the Porsche Cup drivers, use that subscription to get the group coaching sessions that Michael Yanni sets up. So many kind words for Michael, because he's such a good coach, really is able to explain exactly, pinpoint how to improve in this Porsche Cup car. But also you get track guides and you also get setups as well. And you don't just get that for the Porsche Cup, you get that for single-seaters, for touring cars, for rallycross cars, and loads of others on iRacing. So do check out apexracingac.com in order to get yourself a subscription. Of course, me and David both use it whenever we possibly can, and we do thoroughly recommend that you subscribe as well. So yeah, 1:30 to go. For Corey Lazarus, of course, he's sort of, well, I guess it's more interesting from Hammer. You know, not sure how many times you've been in this position, David, as a championship leader. I mean, obviously, I've got plenty of experience. And do you
how'd
think
your N24 go? Sorry? What?
Well, that wasn't my fault, though, was it? So I held up my side of the bargain.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my teammates let me down.
Yes.
How do you think he will be driving, Philip, considering he's got the lead that he has? He does still need to finish these two aces.
Look, when I say he's calm at the start, I'm not trying to say he's slow. He's just sometimes really focusing on those tyres and looking after and getting the job done. But I'm just saying, if Bassoni or Lazarus or any of these get something done, then it's going to be after 3. It's going to be very difficult on the rest of the race to get done. Hammer knows exactly what to. He's not stressed anything. He's not won this many races and going to falter in a T1. I may eat my words, but yeah, he's got everything he needs to do to win. But Lazarus did everything he needed to do to get him here and put himself 3rd on the grid as well. He wasn't going to blow that in the first battle with Hammer, so we don't know the relative pace that Lazarus had against. But Hammer, like usual, nailed his qualifying and put himself in this great situation for the A final.
A few comments, by the way, in the YouTube chat. Nick Horn saying Yanni the Manny. Michael Cost saying +1. Basically just backing up my points about how good of a coach Michael Yanni is. So, yep, thanks to him for coaching many of these drivers, improving much of this field, it must be said. As we've just got a couple more seconds of warm-up to go, and then the drivers will disappear from the circuits, and we will start having the grid being populated with the 15 cars that are remaining. 2 have been eliminated, plus myself, and just 15 are left. And on the pole position is Philip Hammer. Alongside him, Andrea Bassoni. Corey Lazarus lines up in P3. Then it's Joseph Dimbolo, Salvatore Lane, Ilan Distraz, and Edwin Forsland. Forsland top of the amateur drivers. There's Meinborg Pedersen of the Ben variety, Nick Kirstens, Luke Swan, Anthony Bernand, Thomas Verm, Mads Lutzen, and then the 3... No, hang on. Yep. And Tom Heritage. Yes, Tom Heritage. There you go, in 15th place.
Brilliant. Yeah, I see Tom there. Stays out of trouble. We can definitely get some points here.
Yeah, potential good gains for him. Distraz is the only driver yet to get on the grid. He's still got 16 seconds, though, to get onto the grid, but he's just letting the others wait a little bit. It's a very pro strat, this. But there he is. He pops up.
It's a very streamer thing to do. Streamers always do it.
So here comes the lights then for the A final. So far, 8th one's been going for some fantastic starts. Are we going to keep that up for this final race? It's a poor start for Hammer,
yeah,
and this will be a
strong.
great chance for Bassoni to move alongside.
Lane away very slowly back there.
The second stage of the start for Hammer was actually very good. Here comes Lazarus though on the inside. It's going to be 3 wide for the lead heading into turn 1. There goes Bassoni on the outside. Dimbolo dives up the inside.
4th.
But I think it's going to be Lazarus who manages to get through. And Hammer's almost off the circuit. He is off the circuit. And Philip Hammer's 100% podium record so far this season might be in doubt now. He's got a lot of work to do. But Lazarus on that inside line made it work. And he could be in for his first race win since Sebring.
And that contact he had was with Dimbolo. I don't know if they just got caught up together because it looked like there was at least 3 hits, but Yeah, Hammer with a poor start, and I think he was more worried about Pisoni on the outside, as he should have been, but Lazarus perfected his start, got the inside, got the very late break done, and that late break caused Hammer to just be in no man's land. He had Pisoni going deep, because obviously that's the benefit of being on the outside, right? You can break very deep and let the camber of the corner take you. He got swallowed up.
No, Ryan Boyd got hit.
Oof, my boy dropping hard.
He was battling with Fernand, I believe. It was certainly 2 white cars.
And Heritage.
Now they're swapping around again. Now they make contact again. Oh, I don't know what those two have got against one another, but...
Yeah, we'll check the replay. One thing we missed as well at the beginning, Salvatore Lane had a horror of a standing start. He might as well have gone backwards. All of the cars in his lane were scrambling to get out. It's lucky we didn't see... a big wreck, but I think it was Lane who was caught checking his phone when the lights go green, I think. So he's got a lot of work to do.
Well, he made a few. Oh, and now more contact, and that's Philip Hammer who has made contact. And, well, he's not happy, so I don't think it was necessarily Hammer's fault. But, well...
when you're at the wheel, it's always the other person's fault. Doesn't mean he's in the right.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Dimbolo.
Very close. Dimbolo going defensive. He's locked up, though, and he's going to lose a lot of places. He's almost on the gravel. And Forson, Disjazz, and Pedersen all make their way past.
Yeah, I think
yeah, sorry, continue.
I think Dimbolo and Hammer know each other, right? 'Cause when we interviewed Dimbolo, he always thanked someone. I thought it was Hammer that he worked with closely.
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think the incident was, anything like that, but I think it's stuck in his head because that was very uncharacteristic of Dimbolo just to all 4 tyre lock up now. He's going to be feeling the pain, and obviously he's got a lot of work to do to go forward. Yeah, we'll have a look at that incident with Hammer. We'll see. We saw, 1.5 seconds of it. It looked like Hammer got into him, but like I say, I didn't even get to see it for a full 2 seconds.
With how close everyone else is ahead, could still be some more positions he can gain, but for now, he's just got to try to get past Luke Swan. Well, would be good points for Ben Pedersen, by the way, for the championship if it ended like this.
Let's see how cool, calm and collected Hammer is to pull himself from a position he doesn't usually find himself.
Dimbolo has got back past Pedersen. I think Pedersen made a mistake. You don't usually pass at Corin Chow.
Corin Chow, is that a pasta sauce?
You think?
No, I'm joking. Sorry, no, I'm joking.
Okay, sorry. So he's passed. Is Hammer? He's up to P7. But we'll now have Lane to fend off.
Yeah, Lane. Well, you wait till you see it. Everyone behind him had to jolt out of the way. I think he may have just literally not had it in gear.
Might even go for Hammer here.
Everyone's smelling blood. They can see blood on Hammer's car, and they're like, okay, I want some of this. Mr. Perfect is looking vulnerable. Oh, this is cost Lane, though.
Yeah, he just got a bit stuck on the apex, having to hold behind Hammer.
Yeah, Hammer turned... well, he wasn't alongside, was Lane, but Hammer turned him with the intent, saying, look, it's mine. So Lazarus Pisoni... Lazarus had such a good standing start. Well, they both... No... Hammer just had a really bad start. Right. Ignore me. But they nailed their start.
Yeah, I thought initially it was going to be Pisoni.
Yeah, I think Hammer did.
Into the lead.
He was, I think, all eyes on Pisoni, thinking, okay, like, what do I need to do here? And then Lazarus, great run down the inside, couldn't defend both of them.
No, and it is such a wide circuit, this as well. Like, you can't cover the whole circuit. It is that wide. So we got some replays. And here it was. So, yeah, actually, really wasn't an amazing start for Lazarus, but he was able to dip into the draft, and that's how he got alongside.
Yeah, look, Pisoni goes really deep. Really deep.
Dimbolo as well, wedged his car on the inside.
So let's see how Dimbolo...
Oh, he'd already unsettled the car.
Yeah.
Almost hitting...
Yeah, we'll get in the chopper after this, Sam. We're going to jump in it and hop down and look. Here we go. So Hammer does break rather early. Pisoni on the outside deep. Dimbolo gets it done as well. Let's see what happens to Dimbolo. Dimbolo... Oh! Completely lost it on his own. Unbelievable.
Well, did he make a little bit of door contact, though? Maybe just unsettled his car.
Oof.
Obviously his fault, but... And then, wow, that was great job there from Distraz to get through.
Oh, everyone went off. Can't even say it was a bad rejoin. Everyone behind was off.
Oh, that's not good from Tom. That's not a good move there from Heritage.
No,
And then Mindbot gets hit for the second time.
not the.
That's all on
Oh.
Hammer.
Yeah.
That could be a post-race penalty for Philip Hammer, I think, that one.
Yeah, obviously it didn't look intentional, but it looked very uncharacteristic, like a man out of place. Yeah, complete lock-up, much like we saw Dimbolo a few moments later. And they're both suffering out their 5th and 7th. And Forsland, P3 in the A final.
Yeah. Well, he was P4 last time out at Nords. He's gradually just getting better and better. Pedersen back past Dimbolo. I see some smoke though,
Oh.
and that is why.
Careful with the
Dimbolo has
rejoin.
binned it on the exit of ARA Porsche 2. And now he's done a very good job at covering off the attack from Lane. But Hammer did get past, as well as Pedersen, of course.
Yeah, Dimbolo looks completely out of sorts. Maybe a bit of damage, maybe a bit stressed. Not going his way.
Tom Heritage with a meatball, apparently, from Nick Horn. And that is why he is a bit detached. Tom made a very questionable move into this very corner, actually, on lap 1.
Was that the late break?
It was the, yeah, sort of late break cutscene circuit.
Yeah.
Malarkey. This is close. Lazarus, where he took the lead at turn 1. Someone's done a carbon copy of what the lines they were taking it in turn 1 on lap 1. Lazarus is holding on, but Pisoni is looking very raceable as here comes the outside move from Forsen, but Distraz has got past. Distraz up into P3, and if the top two start battling, maybe this will be the time for Elan Distraz to break his duck and finally get his first ever race win.
Yeah, he's looking good for it.
Because
Straz do. Who are we looking at here? Thomas Worm. Oh, it's been a tough race. All these names are not where we would put them. We've got Hamalane and Dimbolo taking up the 6, 7, 8 spot. Luke Swan wondering who is in front of him. Was Forsen just P3? Did Distraz get by?
Distraz got past Forstand.
Okay, this is what happened to Dimbolo. Ooh.
Got a bit greedy on the exit.
A little bit, yeah. He yeeted over the gravel as well. I'd say the Porsche Cup in the gravel doesn't look as settled as a GT3. And again, I suppose the nature of the corner, you're steering, right? It's not... It's a long sweeping corner.
So attempt number... Well, really, it's attempt number 5, this, for Pisoni. He's been on the back of Lazarus this entire race. Lazarus is going to pull some shapes, make some extra corners on this Mugello circuit.
Yeah, it's almost like the Fuji straight, right? He's allowed to move, what, essentially one more time because he's taking the racing line.
Yeah, he's allowed to weave as long as the car behind isn't within a couple of car lengths.
Okay.
So that is something that actually Pisoni got a penalty for earlier on this season at Sebring. When he was fighting for P2. This time he's fighting for the win, and still he wasn't able to get past. I feel like that pattern might repeat itself a few times, and I don't think Pisoni's really got anything other that he can do on that outside lane. He's just got to be closer coming onto the pit straight.
I think Banan just got 1 up to P10. And Pedersen, can he catch Forsland? Well, Am's in 4 and 5 now after the reshuffling with Dimbolo's mistake. Hammer is on the charge. I suppose Hammer can still get a P3 from this. I mean, he could still win this. If Lazarus and Pisoni battle hard and they put themselves back a bit, then Hammer still has the chance. But again, I suppose we deserve a pat on the back, right? That's Hammer's only chink in his armour. He starts.
Yeah. And I'd say even that start wasn't... Oh, before he's wide. Wasn't as bad as his seeping start. That was the
Yeah.
other start, which lost him a race win so far this season. It was just, it's a long run down to turn 1. It's not an easy place to hold on to the lead.
No, for sure. I mean, bottled the start, and I mean, did everything he could for safety in T1. It's not easy when you've got both the guys on the left and right of him had a lot of overdrive on him speed-wise. So
That's a bad exit for Lazarus. This
Yeah.
could be a move on here. He is going to be closer than he was on the last lap. It's a shame for Pisoni that he messed up a couple of corners earlier. Otherwise, he'd be in an even better position.
Ooh.
Going all the way to the inside is Lazarus. Pisoni on the outside again. He's going to try to squeeze and make the Kiwi take a slightly tighter line. Pisoni just has to hesitate on the throttle.
How careful does Lazarus have to be of a pit exit penalty there?
No idea. Not
Just-
sure.
He almost got into pit lane.
I don't think you get any penalties though for that. Do you on iRacing?
You know, certain tracks you have to be careful. Well, not on. Well, I really don't know.
Only the ovals I can think of are where you might get a penalty for that.
Well, hold on, no, Long Beach.
Not the.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
no, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
exactly.
You're absolutely
That's,
right.
yeah. I hate that one, by the way, because it actually pops up as you're turning in for T1, probably the hardest corner on the track, and it's popping up 10. You've got a 1.6 second. The next thing you know, you're in the wall because you was distracted. On board with Dimbolo, can you keep it together? I mean, Lane, the people ahead of him aren't slow, so this is the frustrating situation when you find yourself back a lot further than you feel like you should be pace-wise, but you find a lot of other drivers around you in the same situation, so you're just a bit stuck, hoping they move forward and you go with them.
Sepal 165. Not my track, not my day. Greetings from the Nürburgring. I think that is Sebastian Piedlak.
Yeah, what a shame.
Sebastian, let us know what happened with that that pit stop. I think it was you didn't serve a slowdown, but let us know what it was.
It was
It was forgot to fuel up and got a speeding penalty on top. So yeah.
Forgot to fuel up. So the one question I had is, did you know from the start, did you know on lap 1 that you was going to have to save, or was it something that snuck up on you with sort of a lap and a half to go? Because I saw you lost like half a second on the third and second to last laps before you pitted.
Ooh.
I don't think you can get this done, no.
I just thought for a second there, Lazarus may not have been coming all the way to the inside.
Hammer is past Pedersen.
He is up to P5 now. What I will say, Hammer hasn't really been catching the leaders. Like, the gap's gone from like, it was 6.9 a couple of laps ago. It's now down to 6.5. But you got to remember that Lazarus has been defending.
Yeah.
Hammer has been overtaking, but I feel like losing less time because he's been able to use the draft. So Hammer would have won this race, I think, had he been in the lead at turn 1. But it was a very close meeting. There is the gap. Yeah, very little change since lap 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Lazarus is flying. It's just Pisoni is, again, possibly the fastest man out there, but just stuck behind. Or he's just playing the draft really well. But yeah, Pisoni needs to come up with something new. I mean, what else is there on this track?
So we've got 2 more laps to go. So 2 more attempts for Pisoni into that turn 1, which looks like it's going to be the only place they can overtake. We have seen Lazarus make 1 mistake at the final corner, Buccini, so far in this race. And he needs, Pisoni just needs to hope that he makes another one. That's really looks like his only shot here. This Jazz is still being put under pressure from Forsen, but doubt the Swedish Jazz going to put too much at risk, considering it would be back-to-back victories if he could just hold his place.
Yep.
Pisoni, the furthest back he's been, probably for this entire race, in turn 1.
Sebastian said, yes, I saved from lap 2 on, needed 2 litres more.
Good pace then, Sebastian, to be that fast.
Yeah. There's a clutch in this car, right? Isn't there? Still? Yeah, you can use the clutch while driving.
What would be the advantage of that?
To literally maintain a higher speed down the straight. So where
Oh, sure, for fuel saving, yeah.
yeah, if he'd have lifted at the 500 board with clutch, and you could probably lift at the 700, and you're going to lose time, but you know, the clutch isn't useful for saving fuel, but it is for keeping minimum lap time. Your lap time.
Ooh, wide for Lazarus. He built up a little bit of a gap, and he's just thrown away about 2/10 by pushing a bit too hard into Savelli. Made him tight as well for Arabiata 1. And Pizzoni's got one more shot at this, most likely. Turn 1 on the final lap of the race. 3.5 tenths the gap. He wants to be within at least 3/10 onto the pit straight, but really, he probably needs to be about 0.25 behind going onto the pit straight.
Yeah. All this section of track, he should just really focus on keeping those tyre pressures and tyre nice and cold and focusing everything he can on the exit. But he knows this. At the end of the day, you can't do all this nonsense I'm talking about and keep up with Lazarus. Lazarus isn't slow. Let's see what he can do. He's really pushing it.
This is closer than he's ever been, I think. Lazarus not pulling some shapes. He's going to allow... Oh, now he's starting to pull some shapes. So he did just leave it a little bit later. But he's going to go all the way to the inside. This is probably where this round 11 of the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup is going to be decided. Pizzoni gets his nose ahead for a moment.
It's not going to do a lot, though.
But Lazarus had the inside line again, and Pizzoni's chances are slim now. And the Kiwi out in the lead just needs to keep it clean, keep running his racing lines that he has been doing for the entire day, and he will get to the checker flag first of anyone.
Yeah, good race.
Ben Pedersen back past? No, defending, sorry, from Salvatore Lane.
I think Hammer might be a bit damaged. He's got what looks like no pace in that car.
He's still faster than the leaders.
Am I missing that?
Yeah, the gap was at 7. He's now down to 6.
Oh, I thought it was 6.4 last time we checked on the graphs that popped up from our studio.
Yeah. So he's maybe been a 10th of a second lap faster than the leaders, yeah.
That's not bad considering Lazarus has not taken a T1 correctly yet.
Yeah. Oh, Lane still going for it. We have seen him in 2 last last lap instance so far. And he's going to be in another one.
Oh, no.
It's Ben Pedersen who loses a few positions and a few points. Here comes Dimbolo. Now, neither of these guys usually back out, but with the slowdown, I think Lane had to there.
It looked like Lane just pounded him from behind. That's what it looked like to me.
He's going a bit defensive here, is Lazarus. Can he send it Pizzoni with 1 corner to go?
No, I mean...
Lazarus, who took race win at Hockenheim, who took the race win at Brandsatch, and he took the race win at Suping as well. He's going to take his 4th win of the season, this time at Mugello, and that is a fantastic result for the man who will likely finish runner-up in the championship, but tonight he was the best. Lane has got a drive-through. He'll try to serve it on the last lap, but it does not work that way. He will just lose more time in the pits here, and will have a post-race penalty, which will likely drop him to last place.
Lane was the guy that just hit Pedersen.
Yeah.
But Pedersen just came into the pits. I wonder if it was a meatball or he's...
Oh, probably instant limit as well.
Yeah.
I still get surprised that people think that they can serve the drive-through on the last lap. Like, it doesn't happen. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
You just lose more time.
And you see a lot of people forget that you don't need to serve a meatball. If there's only 2 laps left in the race, just
serve it.
If you're ever doing a race at the Nordschleife, a sprint, if you get a meatball, you never need to serve the thing.
Yeah.
Good race, exciting. Yeah, be nice if this was like Formula 1 where people made mistakes and people were out of position, but this was really good.
Yeah, and it was nice as well. Like, I feel like we've had similar races to that where, like Nordschleife the last time out, where Hammer's been in the position that Lazarus was in, but because it's Hammer, we're like, he's going to be fine. But Lazarus, I mean, that was his 4th race victory of the season. We shouldn't understate that. But there was that slight bit of jeopardy where it was a case of maybe he could make a mistake, but credit to him. Besides that one slide at the final corner, and then that mistake as well through Savelli, besides that, he was completely error-free. And we've got our results as well. Corey Lazarus with his 4th race win of the season ahead of Pizzoni. Run up again. He's finished on the podium. I think 3 of the 4 meetings he's attended as Pizzoni, but still just like in that race win. Then it was Destraz, Forsland, Hammer. Forsland top of the AMS, by the way, we should say. Hammer with his worst result of the season. Dimbolo, Ben Pedersen, Luke Swan, Anthony Bernand, Thomas Verm, Mads Lauritsen, Nick Kirstens, Sasha Meyenborg, Salvatore Lane, and Tom Heritage. So Lane did hold on then against Heritage. And the driver who pitted on the last lap, do you remember who it was who pitted on the
Lane
last? Oh, I thought, was it someone else though?
and Pedersen.
And Pedersen.
But
Well,
if Pedersen had a, I think Pedersen could have crossed the finish line under that conditions.
sure.
I don't know what happened, but it looks like Pedersen kept his result, whereas Lane
Yeah.
did not.
No. But yeah, at least he was not last. I thought he was going to be last, seeing how much time he would have lost in the pit lane. Let's have a chat with one of our drivers then. And we have got Edvin Forsland, I think, to join us now. Edvin, another week and another win in the amateur category. Of course, very different format to what we had last time out. But yeah, how does that compare to Nordschleife 1 week ago?
Yeah, I'm so happy, to be honest. Like, I'm back home now using my old shit pedals. Excuse the language, but yeah, no, we're just completely horrible. And I'm really happy with this result. I did not expect this today. And when I don't know what to say really.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like you had like solid pace throughout the evening. That race start of the A final, there was a lot of movement ahead of you, and you were able to gain a few places off that start. I mean, what was it like from your perspective?
Yeah, no, I mean, once again, I've practiced my start with this car now, so I got two more good starts today, both in the first heat and then the A final. And just like last week, after both of the starts, my legs were shaking for a few laps. So I'm gonna have to have my legs checked up. They can't keep on shaking like this. No, but yeah, no. In the heat, I just saw my chance up the middle and closed the door and Ben Pedersen, and then I stayed there, got that unfortunate slowdown, so Salvatore got me. I think he would have passed me anyway because he was so much faster. But yeah, it's a shame I got a slowdown. But yeah, the start in the A final, really, I don't even know where to begin. I got once again another really good start. Salvatore in front of me barely moved off the line, so I just had to avoid him immediately, which kind of slowed me down a little bit, but I still got a really good start. And then I went up the middle, I believe, I went up the inside, and then I saw the contact between Dimbolo and I don't know who else it was, and I just saw a chance and went around the outside. And when I looked up and I saw that I was P3, I was like, how is this possible? So
yeah, it was a great start for yourself on that one. And then the season finale, of course, we head to Zandvoort next time out. Your teammates, Nick Kirstens, hails from the nation of the Netherlands. Is he excited about that one? And are you excited about that one?
Yeah, no, I've never driven the new version of Zandvoort, except on the F1 games where it's awful. So, yeah, no, I'm really excited. It's a track I like. I haven't, like I said, I haven't tried it on this game yet, and definitely not in the Porsche Cup. Or actually, I might have on a race room, to be honest. But yeah, never with the new P-Cup car. So I'm very excited for that. And I don't know how much I closed in on Ben and Luke tonight, but I'm hoping I get another good result to maybe be within a chance to maybe secure that title.
Yeah, you have been closing the gap in recent rounds. Certainly P2 is in reach with Luke, and yeah, I just need to hope that that Ben has a bit of a struggling final round of the season, and yeah, you won't be too far off the summit. Congratulations tonight on another race victory. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, once again, my dad and my team members, and yeah, my team members and team principal.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Edvin, and we'll see you back in 7 days' time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers.
Edvin Forsland there, finishing in P4 overall tonight.
Should we speak to our race winner,
I
Corey
think so.
Lazarus?
I'll hand him over to you.
Hey, Corey, how you doing? Corey, can you hear me okay?
I got you, mate. You got me?
Yeah. Congratulations, mate. What a race. Obviously, yeah, it was really fun to watch. Obviously, you had your big battle with Hammer in the first race where you just followed him like a second back, like drove really well. But getting that opportunity in the A final must have been glorious. I mean, he seemed to have a poor start. What was going through your mind as you were trucking down to T1?
Firstly, thanks, guys, for having me. Going through my mind going into T1 was just get to the inside, because as you can see, lap after lap after lap, when Andrea was coming after me, yeah, it's very, very hard to make a pass around the outside. So as soon as I saw I got a run on Hammer, it was to try and get straight to the inside.
Yeah, it paid off. I don't know if you saw, but Pisoni had a really good start, much like yourself, and he went round the outside and just broke very late, and it just really caught Hammer off. He didn't really have a place to go. He couldn't exploit going deep because Pisoni was there, and he couldn't hug the apex because you was there, so he really dropped back to P4, and then more with being caught up with the masses. I mean, Pisoni was on you. How was the pressure? I mean, it looked like his only opportunity was one, and you had it perfectly covered off, but I mean, how was it? I mean, he did follow very closely. It must have been a little bit of a miracle.
Yeah, it was. And yeah, he certainly had some good pace around here. There was pressure, but I sort of just knew it really, you know, with the faster guys, no disrespect to anybody else, but with the faster guys, there's really only one line around here unless somebody makes an error. So I just thought if I could just, you know, not make mistakes and then cover off at turn one, it's going to be very hard for him to make a clean pass.
I had one question. One of your laps, you got quite close to actually getting into pit exit on the line. I mean, was you worried? Is it something you tested? Because obviously at tracks like Long Beach, the line's super dangerous for a slowdown. But I think I only saw you do it once. Was that something you'd practiced, or was you just winging it?
No, I had done a few laps and also raced the UKSR, so I had a race yesterday here, but it was more just sending Andrea the body language of the car to let him know you're not coming up my inside regardless.
Yeah.
That was really just sending him the message. So you're not too worried, mate. It was a really good race. It was really fun, and he kept me on my toes.
Yeah, no, you did excellent. It's an excellent looking livery. It's one of my favourites. But yeah, no, it was a pleasure watching you. You must be pleased. You've had a really good run of results. Talked about Hammer. Has he been? I assume he's been quite the tough competitor. Very minimal mistakes, strong qualifying. How have you found him this season to battle against?
Yeah, it goes without saying. He's sensational. He just keeps his car so straight and fast all the time. And I've actually raced Philip. My 2-year anniversary in iRacing is almost here. So since I've basically started, I've been racing Philip across numerous leagues, and he's always been, you know, 2 to 3 to 4 tenths faster than me the entire time. He's super clean, and he's also a really, really, really good dude off the sim. So, yeah, you know, this is the reason I wanted to interview today, because next week was going to be all about Philip anyway. So I just wanted to pay my congratulations to him. He's been sensational since he started, including, you know, he missed a full round. So if he had been here for one round, he'd be miles ahead. So, yeah, no, he's awesome. Really good dude.
Well, very nice of you, Corey. Obviously, you don't need to win a race to come up here to get an interview, but yeah, that was a smart move. I suppose it will be Hammer's week. But yeah, great win, well deserved. Yeah, very well put together, and great chatting with you. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, thanks very much. Yes, definitely. Firstly, to your broadcast team, you guys do a great job. It's one of the best going around. And to the Apex League in general. And I have a few sponsors over here that have got behind us. So Astute Finance at East Brisbane, Fisher Door Lawyers in Brisbane, Distraction Sim Gear Sim Rigs, and my teammates Sam and Dylan and the rest of the Blackout OPR guys. So really appreciate them supporting me all the time.
Excellent, mate. And again, congratulations, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks very
Cheers.
much. Ciao.
Ciao. Corey there.
Yes, and yeah, very complimentary of
Yes.
Philip Hammer.
Very nice.
Genuinely, in the Porsche Cup Series, just everyone gets on.
Yep. It's
Like
great
it
to see.
happened last season. Everyone just really got on. It's quite a closed community, maybe a bit more than like the GT2s, where there's just so many people. In the Porsche Cup, it's a bit more of a big community, obviously, but still everyone knows each other a bit more because they race against each other so often. So good group of people. Next week we head to Zandvoort. We've had a little bit of a chat about it already. I think it'll be good, but another very tricky one to overtake. And of course, it's an hour-long race, so
Yeah,
plenty
but
of chances to
mistakes are
mess up.
plenty. In those,
Yeah.
in that mid part of the track, you're asking a lot of the rear tyres, and
You're threading the needle through that part, aren't you?
obviously I suppose it will be a bit different now because the gravel at Zandvoort has always been so scary. Clip a rear left in it, and you're dead forever. Whereas now, I haven't tested, but
The curbs are a bit bigger now, aren't they? So
yeah, and the
still
gravel's
get
just a
away.
little grippier.
Yeah.
But we saw even here that people lost it in the gravel, so we shall see. It's going to be interesting. There's a few. I love watching people try the low line,
Yeah.
because when you think, oh, it's always the overtaking point down the inside,
Yeah.
but it's amazing when you come out of the corner 8/10 back from the person you thought you was going to, and another position down. I think it's amazing, but it happens more often than you may think.
Yeah, that will be on then next week. That'll be the season finale, our final round, our final broadcast as well from the studio for the iRacing season. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this broadcast, please do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, check out our social media platforms as well on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Of course, we will be broadcasting the late Apex in just a few minutes time, about half an hour or so. We'll be discussing the new iRacing F4 Championship, new iRacing IndyCar Championship, updates to Race Room, and of course the new F1 24 game as well, which hasn't properly been released, but some people have got some releases of it and have given their fairly controversial views on it. So do check out the late Apex coming up in about half an hour's time with me and David. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and from David Sampson, we will say goodbye, and we will see you back next time for the season finale at Zandvoort Round 12 of the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup. See you then.
Ciao.